Hi everyone, and welcome to another Fallout 76 Dev Dive. This time, we're going to be taking you deep into some new features that we haven't released yet, called camp slots and special loadouts. I'm here with Jake, Alyssa, and Dawn from the Fallout 76 development team. How are you doing, everybody?
Doing great. Happy to be
Doing
here.
great.
Doing good.
Very cool. Why don't you each introduce yourselves and tell us what you do for Fallout 76 and, sort of your role in these two awesome new features. Dawn, we'll start with you.
Yes, I'm Don Edgerton. I'm the lead user experience designer at Bethesda Austin, and I'm the product owner for camp slots and special loadouts.
Hi, yes, I'm Alyssa Detling. I'm a senior gameplay programmer at Bethesda Austin, and I'm focused mainly on camp stuff. Right now, camp slots.
Hey, my name is Jake Raymore, and I'm a senior user interface designer at Bethesda Game Studios Austin. I'm responsible for design layouts, user flows, visual direction, and animation in the Fallout 76 user interface.
Awesome. All you guys do such amazing work to bring this game to life. And I'm really excited to talk about camp slots. As someone who spends a lot of time in my own camp, I can't wait for this feature. The ability to place another camp on top of the one that we already have. Like, what do you guys love about this feature? Why are we bringing this to the game?
I mean, I can really sum up camp slots with one word. It's more. More camps, more total budget, more location, more creativity, more fast travel points, more building. We're builders too. We really love building. We've been doing it for years now, and we always want to do more. And camp slots is a new system that allows players to have more than one camp. And while you can only have one active at a time, the camps will always be saved.
More everything, it sounds like, which, I mean, that sounds awesome to me. Alyssa, what are you excited about with this feature?
Yeah, I'd say for me, the biggest excitement that I have is just the fact that, I like to build camps that have a specific theme. And, once you build it and you get to that end, you're so happy, but having to destroy it to build another one just didn't feel great. So I'm super excited the fact that I can just build one specific theme and then go, cool, I want to keep that there. Go over here, look, whole entire new theme, whole entire new concept. Maybe it's just a utility camp and that's just the one I toss wherever I want, but that's kind of what I'm looking forward to.
Couldn't agree more. I feel like that's one of the things that I always run into in this game is I'm exploring, I'm out finding awesome new spots and I go, oh, this would be so perfect to build the greatest view here. It would be an awesome camp. And then I'm like, but do I want to give up where I'm at? And I almost always choose, no, I'm going to keep where I'm at because I like that spot too. But now it kind of feels like we don't have to. So what about you, Jake? What's got you excited about camp slots?
Camp slots for me kind of delivers on the premise of 76, where players are encouraged to rebuild Appalachia. They're building up all over the place, and it's going to free you up from having maybe only a utilitarian camp, which is kind of how I play. I'm a bit old school in my Fallout, so I tend to only have one camp that's just utility, and now with camp slots, I can kind of explore all the fun stuff that's in the store.
I am guilty of having a box camp at some points in my Fallout 76 life too, where it's just 4 walls and a foundation and it may as well be a survival tent.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Dawn, you had mentioned active and stored camps. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Sure. While you can only have one active camp, all your previous camps are going to be stored. And what stored means is that they're saved in memory, but they're not loaded in the world. We don't want to have a problem where 24 people have 50 camps and the entire world is covered. So we want to make sure that somewhat things are limited. But you can think of it as kind of your history, your save game states of all your previous camps. And switching to them is extremely painless. You can either use the map or you can use the new camp slots widget and select the one you want, set it as active, and then it's on. There's no cost, there's no friction. It is instantaneous.
So I have my camp in game already. When this comes out, how do I go about placing a second one?
When camp slots is released, all you'll need to do to place your second camp is open the map, open the camp slots widget, select the second slot, activate it, and then you're free to place. It's pretty much the same flow as you would normally do, except now you have more.
Okay, so I can have my Red Rocket camp and I can have my Slocum's Jail camp now. What else does this allow me to do? I know we're making some changes to vending and display cases. Can you guys tell me a little bit more about that?
Right now, if you were to say place your vending down, you could have it in one camp and it would have one list of items. Maybe you put your favorite weapon in there and it's 8 caps. Then you go to your other camp slot and you put a vending down, you put that other weapon and you maybe put it up for sale for 200 caps. and you kind of forgot you even had it in that first one. And then later on, you switch over and accidentally sell it for 8 camps. So what we wanted to do was kind of avoid that situation. So what we've done with vending instead is, no matter how many vending ones you put down, the list for sale is always the same. So when you put it up for 200 caps, it's 200 caps in all of them. If you change it to 8 caps, it changes to 8 caps for everywhere. We've increased the limit to make sure you can still have as many items as you could vend before, but we made it the same list. But the even better part, honestly, about it is now in shelters, we are able to get you those display cases that, everybody really wants, as well as the vending machines in shelters.
That's going to make a lot of people really happy. The display cases has been, I think, the #1 request from the community for shelters ever since before they launched, since the PTS. So it's really, really exciting that we're able to add those to shelters. I know that was not a simple task to do. So you guys definitely deserve some congratulations for that. Okay, so I noticed there's a lot of new UI for camp slots on the map. What is some of the new little things we can do with our camps after we put down both slots?
The camp representation on the map will be somewhat similar than we had before, except now you can pick your own icon, and we have much better feedback for whether the camp has a shelter or a vendor. So we have 2 new sub icons that denote shelter or vendor, and you no longer have to power your vendor in order to have your map be visible to other players. We now have a simple functionality where you select the camp, you say public beacon on, and then everyone can see it. And a new ping will show you that camp is now beaconed. We also wanted to make sure that the icons had plenty of choices, although they don't necessarily mean anything in specific. You are able to sort of express yourself a little bit and kind of inform other players what to sort of expect on your camp. If you want to make a Mothman camp, maybe pick a Mothman icon, and people have a better idea that what's going to be there.
No wonder I like that M. It's a Mothman M. I think that just about does it for camp slots. Why don't we move on to our next feature, which is going to change how we play with our characters in special loadouts. Can you guys tell me a little bit more about this?
Sure. So Fallout 76 is a huge game, and as you're playing, you sort of evolve and play styles change. We want to make sure that we work with that. Special loadouts encourage players to really experiment. We want to give the full power to the player to sort of make the person or the build that they would like to do. It's really full respec of special and perk loadouts all in one.
It's something we see a lot from the community since launch. Like, how can I change my special more easily? How can I move these points more quickly? I think move a point is a little bit too slow for some folks. They want to be able to move those points much more quickly. Tell me a little bit more about how this feature actually works. Let's dig into it.
Sure. Move a point had its time, but the game has been out for years now. People have really started to figure out all kinds of things that they would like to try, and we want to make sure that's really easy. So all you have to do is find one of the punch card machines in the world or at your camp, select the loadout that you'd like to change, and you can immediately edit your special to any degree that you would like. It's free, it's fast, you can do it as many times as you would like. Then if you would like to do that for a second loadout, or even more potentially, you can do that just as easily.
I'm really curious about punch card machines. What was the inspiration behind that? Like the actual punch card theme itself.
Punch card machines are the actual object that a player interacts with to manage their special loadout. It's the proverbial hat changing station. And the reason we chose a punch card machine was that we needed something thematic for the Fallout universe and something that made sense for the task that it was intended to accomplish. So we kind of picked this old school 1930s punch card machine as the vehicle for that.
So here we are changing up all of the special attributes. So it's like I can just undo all of the points if I want to and just reassign them all?
You can edit any aspect of your current perk loadout and special points all in one place. So here in the perk interface, you can adjust your cards as you normally would, and in the outside punch card interface, you have full control over readjusting all your special points at any time.
How do I get a punch card machine?
To get a punch card machine, every player at level 25 will unlock a recipe that will allow them to build their very own punch card machine in their camp. In addition to that, we've placed punch card machines at strategic places throughout the world. For example, train stations, places where we feel like players will get the most use out of them in their adventuring. Awesome.
So I can change my loadouts then at home or sort of on the go, right? If I find one at the train station, it has all the same, it works the exact same way as the one in my camp.
Absolutely, and I forgot to mention, you'll also be able to use punch card machines in other players' camps as well.
Oh, very cool. Okay, great. So I can just stop by somebody's camp, hop on their vending machines, and then decide to change up my special loadout. So with special loadouts, are there any differences in how perks work? Because I'm putting, the same card in one build as I am the next. So how does that work when I have one perk card in two different builds at the same time?
Right, the perk cards are shared. We don't want you to have two level 4 of the same card, so that card can be placed in two different loadouts. That's perfectly fine.
Nice.
If you were to scrap that card, it would scrap it from both loadouts, and if you were to level up a card that is used in multiple loadouts, it will slot it from the other loadouts, but the card is still there. You can still use it as long as you have the points in the second loadout.
Okay, very cool. So what about like my legendary perks, for example? Does this give me the ability to swap those out?
Changing a perk loadout won't really have much effect on your current legendary perk setup, and the reason for that is that we wanted players to feel like legendary perks are a bit more of a permanent decision. They're a bit more of a late game feature, and they're a bit more of your character's makeup or core DNA.
How did the community's feedback play into developing special loadouts?
We always pay attention what the community wants, and they've been asking for both special respec and for perk loadouts. So we said, why not give them both? We wanted to make sure that functionality was clean, that it was tied together, and that it was really fun to use.
Very cool. Yeah, I definitely love that this not only lets you, change out your perks through changing your special, but that you now get the ability to change your entire special if you want to. Like you can change the entire DNA of your character, I guess you could say.
Absolutely, and that really lets you change your entire character instead of just using the special points that you already had on a traditional loadout system.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us for this Fallout 76 Dev Dive. It's been really awesome looking into camp slots and special loadouts. Dawn, Jake, Alyssa, really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedules. I know how hard you guys are working to get this ready for ship as soon as the PTS is over. Really appreciate you coming on.
Absolutely, thank you. And for both camp slots and special loadouts, we see these as platforms to build on. At the end of the day, this game belongs to the players, and we're extremely excited to see what they create.
Yeah, I guess I just want to say that we're really excited to get these new features in the hands of the players. We think it's really going to expand some horizons in people's general gameplay, and I can't wait to see what people do with them. So we'll see you in the wasteland.
Yeah, and where they're all excited to get it in y'all's hands, I'm excited to be able to play with it on live and finally get to make these changes and play with my husband and have him mess around with some of this stuff.
So we can't wait to see you once these features hit the live game too. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.